guys, it's your girl Chef Jazz here, owner of Green Panther Chef, where we normalize cooking with cannabis. Today, I'm actually putting together a favorite of mine. I am a Crohn survivor, for anyone who is not familiar with my story, but what that means is I really like to focus on gut homeostasis. So I use that through food and cannabis. This recipe right here is actually what I started to use when I first got diagnosed and introduced to cannabis. So about 6 months after my diagnosis. So what that is just a miso soup, and we're going to be using dark leafy greens. You can use kale, but today we are using spinach. All right. So let's get started. This is really simple. All right. So over medium-high heat, you just want to get some water boiling. I love to add a little bit of texture to my miso soup. So this is what we're going to do with tofu. Some people do have gut issues, which is absolutely understandable, or it could be an aggravator for your gut. If tofu is omitted, just do vegetable or chicken to see how that feels. All right, so with tofu, I know it's kind of, what is it? A flavorless protein, some people like to say. But if you season it right, you really can get a lot of flavor. So I love to add just a little bit of soy sauce on top of our tofu and have that soak. What that does is just kind of penetrate on the inside. It's like adding a brine or something to any type of chicken or any type of protein. With that, just a little bit of salt. And then we're going to set that to the side. We threw that into a 350-degree oven and we just roasted it off. So this is what we actually have. We just have beautiful, really flavorful tomato cubes or tofu cubes. All right, so our water should be boiling now. Before we get started, that is extremely important. We have to make sure our water is hot. You do not want to start this in a cold pan. So it looks like that steam is happening. So let's get started. All right, so we're going to take our miso paste. This is really simple, guys. So miso paste, if you are not familiar, it's just a soybean paste that is fermented. It's really good for the gut, fermented foods, but sometimes it can be an aggravator to some people. So just test it out. See how it goes, But it's all about the experimentation and trying new things. So over that heat, you do not want it to boil too much once you add that miso, because we're all about integrity and flavor. We don't want to burn any of that off. So we just want to continue to melt down that beautiful miso inside of the water. This probably takes the whole entire process, 1 or 2 minutes. I love to do this on just like a winter night. If it's cold outside, a good bowl of miso soup is definitely the way to go. Because I do not want you to think or like I'm leaving you behind. Any recipes, all of that good type of stuff is going to be left in the show notes below. So as you see, I kind of added the miso, or I did add the miso in 2 parts. Only reason being is because I don't want that big wad of miso inside of the water, and so it just makes just easier for me. That's all. If you want to put it all in, go for it. But I love to actually just do it in a 2-step type of process. And remember, we do not want this to boil. So I did reduce it after we did get that good boil. I did reduce it down to just under medium. So we're like on a medium low heat. Beautiful. So we did actually roast the tofu like we talked about. So before we take this off the stove, we're going to pop that in. And what that does is just because we did have it on a really high temperature with that tofu, I want to rehydrate it. And I love to add a good dark leafy green. And I love spinach. One, it's super versatile. It's really good. Or kale, if you're into that as well. But I love the complement of spinach in this soup. We are almost done. We're going to let this cook continue for about 2 minutes. And as it does that, let's grab our bowl. That smells so good. All right, so let's get this ladled up. Just a large bowl here. I love to get that beautiful broth, of course. And this is beautiful, like I said, when you are sick or if you just want to curl up in front of like a good movie. I really just love soup. I'm a soup person, I guess. All right, we don't want to take all of the good stuff. A little bit of that tofu on there, and it smells so good. The flavor of the miso is something that is definitely, you recognize that flavor when you smell it. I love to finish it up with just a little bit of our sesame oil. This infused with a little bit of chili oil as well. All right, and then we're going to top this off with just a little bit of sesame seeds. You don't have to, but I absolutely do. Just because it gives like that nutty flavor. All right. So at this point, it's definitely time to eat, guys. So if you love this recipe or any other one, make sure you click the link below and download our dinner party checklist. All right, guys. See you next time.